Good morning, everyone. Let me start by asking you all a question. What do you think when you hear the word disability? Do you picture someone confined to a wheelchair, unable to do the things most of us take for granted? What if I told you that this label, this idea is often far from the truth? What if I told you that what we often call disability is, in fact, the birthplace of incredible abilities, strengths, and achievements? It's time we rethink what it means to be disabled. Because here's the thing, I'm not disabled, I'm able. And so is every person who faces challenges, whether they are physical, mental, or emotional. It's time to challenge the notion that someone who struggles in one area is somehow less capable in every other area. Now, imagine this. What if instead of seeing limitations, we looked at obstacles as the perfect opportunity to innovate? What if we stopped viewing these challenges as roadblocks and instead saw them as an invitation to find new solutions, new ways of being? It's this mindset that turns disability into an incredible strength, into something that sets us apart and pushes us to be better, to think differently, to defy expectations. I want to challenge you all today to think about what truly limits you. Is it your physical body? Is it your environment? Or is it the belief that you can't do something simply because someone told you that you shouldn't? There is no rule book that says what people can or cannot achieve based on their circumstances. The real limitation is in the mind, not in the body. When we think of the word disability, many of us are conditioned to immediately associate it with something negative, something that holds a person back from achieving what society expects of them. We envision individuals who are restricted, hindered, or limited in some way, unable to fully participate in the world around them. However, this perception is not only limiting, but also inaccurate. The word disability focuses solely on what someone can't do, rather than highlighting their strengths, creativity, resilience, and potential. In reality, people with disabilities don't just face obstacles. They often possess a unique set of abilities and perspectives that set them apart and fuel their success. Let's be clear, disability doesn't define a person's worth, ability, or future. It's just one aspect of their existence, a label that society assigns based on its own narrow criteria for success. For too long, people with disabilities have been defined by what they lack rather than being celebrated for the skills and qualities they bring to the table. This idea that disability means inability is a myth, and it's time to shatter the myth once and for all. When we talk about disability, we should really be talking about difference. People with disabilities may face certain challenges that others don't, but that doesn't mean they're not capable of achieving incredible things. It simply means they may have to approach those challenges differently, and that's where true strength lies. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to life, and those with disabilities often have to find creative solutions, think outside the box, and adapt in ways that others may never have to. In this sense, their disability becomes a source of innovation rather than a hindrance. Consider how many people have achieved extraordinary things despite or perhaps because of the challenges they face. Take Helen Keller, who, despite being deaf and blind, became one of the most influential viewers of the 20th century. Or look at the athletes who have defied the odds to compete at the highest levels, like Paralympic gold medalist Tatiana McFadden, who was born with spina bifida. These individuals didn't let the label of disability define them. They used it as a springboard to show the world what they were truly capable of. The truth is, every person has something valuable to contribute, regardless of whether they are classified as disabled or not. The abilities of someone with a disability may not always fit within society's traditional expectations, but they are no less important. The resilience, creativity, determination, and grit that people with disabilities possess are what ultimately drive them to success. And it's not just about overcoming physical limitations, it's about breaking mental barriers, changing perceptions, and redefining what is possible. When we stop focusing on what people with disabilities can't do and instead acknowledge what they can do, we unlock a whole new world of possibility. Disability isn't about a lack of ability, it's about difference, adaptation, and the power to transform challenges into opportunities. So, instead of defining people by their limitations, let's celebrate them for the abilities they have, the paths they carve, and the inspiration they provide to all of us. After all, what's truly limiting is not the disability itself, but the mindset that sees it as a barrier. Self-perception is a powerful force. It shapes how we navigate the world, how we engage with others, and most importantly, how we approach challenges. When it comes to disability, self-perception becomes even more critical because the way a person sees themselves often determines their capacity to overcome obstacles. Too many times, society tells individuals that they are defined by what they can't do. These external judgments can create a narrative that holds people back, but the true measure of ability lies within the person themselves. It is not what others think you can't do, but what you believe you are capable of that ultimately defines your success. For individuals labeled as disabled, the outside world often focuses on what's missing. They hear about the things they can't accomplish, the limitations they face, and the obstacles that stand in their way. These societal expectations can sometimes overshadow their own potential, leading them to internalize these beliefs and doubt their abilities. But here's the truth: your own belief in yourself can be a transformative force that redefines everything. The most important thing is not how the world sees you, but how you see yourself. And when you believe in your own strength, no limitation feels insurmountable. Imagine the impact it would have on society if we stopped measuring people by their disabilities and instead recognized their abilities and their potential. What if every person, regardless of their circumstances, were encouraged to see themselves as capable, innovative, and resilient? The results would be remarkable. People would no longer be held back by the perception of disability because they would be empowered by the knowledge that their worth is not defined by anyone else's expectations. The ability to envision success is a critical component of achieving it. When a person believes they can reach their goals no matter the obstacles, they unlock a powerful drive to push forward, to find solutions, and to keep going even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Think about how many extraordinary individuals have defied the expectations placed on them simply by believing in themselves. People with disabilities who achieve great things, whether in sports, the arts, business, or science, didn't get there because they were told they could do it. They achieved greatness because they didn't let anyone else's perceptions of their limitations hold them back. They chose to believe that their abilities were far greater than any label society could place on them. And because of this unwavering belief, they accomplished things that not only changed their own lives, but also inspired others to do the same. Belief in oneself is not just a mindset, it's a strategy. It allows individuals to approach challenges with a sense of agency, to feel empowered even when faced with adversity. It means taking ownership of your journey, knowing that every step, every success, and every failure is an opportunity for growth. And for those with disabilities, this mindset becomes even more crucial because it becomes the driving force that helps them navigate a world that doesn't always make room for their needs. When you believe in your abilities, you transcend the limits others place on you. You can turn every challenge into an opportunity for self-discovery and every obstacle into a stepping stone towards success. It is in this belief, this unwavering sense of self, that true transformation happens. And when you learn to see yourself not as disabled, but as someone with unique and valuable abilities, the world around you begins to shift. The roadblocks become challenges to be overcome, not barriers to keep you down. This is the power of self-perception. It is the key to unlocking your full potential, and it's a force that can change everything. Adaptability is one of the most powerful traits a person can possess, especially when facing challenges. For individuals with disabilities, adaptability becomes not just a helpful quality, but a necessary one. The ability to adjust, innovate, and find new ways to accomplish tasks is what turns perceived obstacles into opportunities. What many people don't realize is that those who live with disabilities are constantly navigating a world that wasn't designed for them. And in doing so, they develop an incredible skill set that enables them to thrive in ways others might not. This is the essence of adaptability, turning challenges into advantages, developing creative solutions, and overcoming barriers by thinking outside the box. When you face a challenge, your options may initially seem limited, but it's through the act of adaptation that new possibilities emerge. For people with disabilities, this process is often not just about overcoming a single obstacle, but finding an entirely new way to interact with the world. Take, for example, the innovation that arises from adaptive technology, tools that were originally created for people with disabilities but have since been embraced by people without disabilities for their effectiveness and convenience. Screen readers, voice-controlled devices, and prosthetics are just a few examples of how necessity drives invention. These innovations don't just make life easier for people with disabilities, they also enrich the world at large, showing us how challenges can lead to advancements that benefit everyone. What's more, adaptability isn't just about creating new tools or technologies, it's about the mindset that drives people to find solutions. People with disabilities are often forced to think differently, to come up with creative ways to perform tasks that others might take for granted. This unique approach to problem solving results in highly adaptive strategies that enable individuals to navigate daily life with resourcefulness and perseverance. The resilience developed through this constant process of adaptation builds an inner strength that is unparalleled. These individuals understand that the world may not always make accommodations, but they refuse to let that stop them. Instead, they figure out how to make the world work for them, finding new ways to be successful despite the barriers in place. Moreover, adaptability helps people see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. The process of adapting teaches flexibility, patience, and perseverance. It encourages individuals to keep trying new methods and strategies until they find what works. This mindset is invaluable not only for people with disabilities, but for anyone facing adversity. The ability to remain open-minded, to adjust your approach when things aren't working, and to keep pushing forward is a skill that can be applied to any situation. When you embrace adaptability, you develop the confidence to take on whatever challenges life throws at you, knowing that there is always a way forward, even if it means finding an unexpected path. Adaptability also fosters a sense of empowerment. People who are forced to adapt become more self-reliant, resourceful, and determined. Rather than waiting for the world to change to fit their needs, they take charge of their own circumstances, proving that it is not the limitations that define their potential, but their ability to evolve. This resilience is the true power behind adaptability. It's the quiet strength that enables individuals to break through boundaries and redefine what is possible. Adaptability teaches that limitations are often only in the mind, and once you learn how to bend and shift in response to life's challenges, you realize there is very little that can hold you back.
In the end, adaptability is a trait that doesn't just help people with disabilities survive, it helps them thrive. It's a testament to the fact that challenges, when faced with the right mindset, can lead to transformation, growth, and success. The key lies in finding the courage to adapt, to keep moving forward, and to embrace the unique ways in which we can all contribute to the world. And in doing so, we all become stronger and more capable no matter what obstacles we face. Stereotypes are powerful forces in shaping how we perceive the world and the people around us. They influence not only our actions, but also our judgments, sometimes even shaping the way we see ourselves. When it comes to disability, stereotypes are particularly harmful because they reduce the vast diversity of human experience to a narrow set of assumptions. Society often paints people with disabilities as fragile, helpless, or incapable. But these assumptions are not only incorrect, they are also limiting. The reality is that people with disabilities are just as capable, resourceful, and resilient as anyone else. The key to breaking stereotypes is not just changing the way we see ourselves and the world. Is at the heart of breaking stereotypes is the understanding that each individual, regardless of their background or challenges, has a unique set of experiences, strengths, and capabilities. The moment we stop grouping people together based on one characteristic, whether it's a disability, race, gender, or socioeconomic status, we start to see the true complexity and depth of human potential. People with disabilities are no different in this regard. They have dreams, goals, and ambitions just like anyone else. The only difference is that they often have to navigate the world in a way that requires more effort, creativity, and resilience. And it's precisely because of these challenges that they develop qualities may not cultivate. And When we look at people with disabilities, we often fail to see their determination, their creativity, and their problem-solving skills. These are the qualities that allow them to succeed in the face of adversity. Um, for example, consider the athletes who compete in the Paralympics. These individuals don't just excel at their sport, they redefine what it means to push the limits of human potential. They face challenges that most people can't even imagine, yet they continue to achieve greatness because they refuse to be limited by the expectations society places on them. The same can be said for people in the arts, business, and technology. There are countless examples of individuals with disabilities who have not only succeeded, but have excelled in their fields. And the success comes not despite their disability, but in many ways because of it. They have learned to push beyond limitations, to develop new ways of thinking, and to overcome obstacles in ways that others may never consider. This ability to break free from stereotypes is not just a matter of individual effort. It requires a shift in the way society as a whole perceives disability. We need to stop viewing people with disabilities as a group defined by what they lack and start seeing them for what they bring to the table. When society stops focusing on limitations and starts celebrating the strengths and abilities of people with disabilities, we create an environment where everyone is empowered to succeed regardless of their circumstances. This is not only the right thing to do, but it's also the smart thing to do. When we embrace diversity in all its forms, we unlock new ideas, new perspectives, and new possibilities. The world is richer, more dynamic, and more innovative when we celebrate the abilities of every individual, not just those who fit into traditional molds. Yeah. I mean, the truth is that people with disabilities have always been breaking stereotypes. They have been leading, innovating, creating, and achieving in ways that challenge the limited views placed upon them. From scientists to artists, from educators to entrepreneurs, individuals with disabilities are shaping the world in profound ways. The only thing holding them back is not their disability, but the persistent stereotypes that society clings to. It's time for a change. Time to stop limiting people with disabilities to outdated and inaccurate perceptions and start recognizing them for the extraordinary individuals they are. When we break these stereotypes, we not only open the door to greater opportunities for those with disabilities, but we also create a society that values all its members for their unique contributions, regardless of their circumstances. Overcoming adversity is a powerful experience that shapes individuals in profound ways. For those with disabilities, this journey is often more complex, yet it holds the potential to foster incredible resilience, determination, and personal growth. The process of navigating a world that is often not designed to accommodate their needs forces individuals to confront challenges that others might never face. But rather than succumbing to these difficulties, many people with disabilities rise to the occasion and turn their experiences into sources of strength. The very adversity that might be seen as a setback often becomes the fuel for personal transformation and success. This is not just about surviving difficult circumstances, but about thriving in spite of them. The ability to overcome adversity is deeply connected to the mindset that individuals adopt in the face of challenges. It is easy to become discouraged when the world feels stacked against you, but those who thrive in difficult circumstances often do so by refusing to see obstacles as permanent roadblocks. Instead, they adopt a mindset that views adversity as an opportunity for growth. They understand that failure is not the end, but rather a stepping stone toward improvement. And this mindset allows them to face challenges head on, learn from their experiences, and emerge stronger than before. It is this resilience, the ability to keep moving forward, no matter how hard the journey, that turns adversity into a source of strength. So, for many people with disabilities, overcoming adversity is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. Every day presents new challenges, and yet it is these daily struggles that build an inner strength that is often unmatched. The constant need to adapt, to innovate, and to find solutions to problems that others may never even encounter fosters a resilience that becomes and saviors and peers. This is not a passive form of endurance. It is an active process of shaping one's own path and pushing past limits. Those who have to adapt in this way often develop a deep understanding of their own abilities and limitations, which in turn allows them to build strategies for overcoming whatever challenges come their way. What's even more powerful is how personal triumphs, no matter how small, become sources of inspiration for others. When people with disabilities achieve something that society might deem impossible, they not only break through personal barriers, but also challenge the perceptions of what's possible for others. These personal victories demonstrate that adversity is not a sign of weakness, but a call to action. They show that no matter how difficult the circumstances, it is possible to rise above, to push through, and to achieve greatness. These triumphs encourage others to do the same, fostering a collective sense of empowerment that ripples through communities. Moreover, personal triumphs are not just about accomplishing grand achievements. They are also about the small, everyday victories. It could be something as simple as getting through a tough day or accomplishing a task that others may take for granted. These seemingly minor achievements accumulate over time, building a sense of self-confidence and personal strength that becomes invaluable in facing future challenges. The cumulative effect of overcoming adversity is that it transforms individuals, molding them into stronger, more capable versions of themselves. This is the power of adversity. It doesn't just test our limits, it helps us exceed them. The process of overcoming adversity also reshapes our understanding of success. It teaches us that success is not about perfection or achieving everything on the first try. It is about persistence, adaptability, and resilience in the face of hardship. People with disabilities, by navigating a world that often doesn't accommodate them, demonstrate that success is not about being without challenges, but about overcoming them with grace, creativity, and determination. The true measure of success is not how easy the journey is, but how strong and resourceful we become through the struggle. And for those who face adversity daily, their triumphs are nothing short of extraordinary, showing that nothing, whether a disability or any other challenge, can define their ability to succeed. Inclusion and understanding are at the heart of a thriving society. These concepts go beyond simply accommodating people with disabilities. They are about recognizing the inherent value in every individual and understanding that each person, regardless of their circumstances, has something unique to offer. The world is rich with diversity, and every person brings a different perspective set of society. However, when people with disabilities are excluded or misunderstood, society loses the chance to benefit from their unique contributions. It is essential to move toward a more inclusive and understanding world where differences are celebrated rather than feared, and where everyone is empowered to participate fully, regardless of their abilities. Inclusion doesn't just mean physical access to spaces, it means creating an environment where individuals with disabilities feel valued, heard, and respected. This requires a shift in attitude where we stop seeing disability as a deficiency and start seeing it as part of the diverse human experience. True inclusion comes from breaking down the invisible barriers that exist in people's minds, the biases and assumptions that limit how we see and interact with others. It means fostering an environment where every person is given the chance to contribute their ideas, talents, and abilities, regardless of whether they fit into traditional molds. When we embrace inclusion, we create a society that is more equitable and just, where every individual has the opportunity to thrive. Understanding is equally important in building a more inclusive world. It involves taking the time to learn about the challenges faced by people with disabilities and recognizing that their experiences are valid and valuable. Understanding goes beyond tolerance. It's about empathy and a deep appreciation of the unique journeys that people with disabilities navigate every day. It's about moving past surface level assumptions and engaging with people on a deeper level, recognizing the full complexity of their lives. When we understand the obstacles that people with disabilities face, we can better support them in overcoming those challenges, ensuring that they have the tools, resources, and opportunities they need to succeed. Inclusion and understanding also open the door to greater innovation and creativity. When we make space for people with disabilities to fully engage in society, we tap into a wealth of untapped potential. People with disabilities often approach problems differently, using their unique perspectives to find creative solutions that others may overlook. These different ways of thinking can lead to breakthroughs in science, technology, art, business, and countless other fields. By fostering an environment of inclusion and understanding, we create a society that values creativity and diverse problem-solving skills, ensuring that we are not limiting ourselves by excluding any group. In addition, inclusivity strengthens communities. When people feel accepted and supported, they are more likely to participate, collaborate, and contribute to the greater good. People with disabilities are valuable members of our communities, and by welcoming them in, we create a stronger, more resilient society. Inclusion fosters a sense of belonging, which is essential for mental health and well-being. It allows individuals to thrive knowing that they are respected and appreciated for who they are. When society is inclusive, it's not just people with disabilities who benefit, it's everyone. By lifting others up, we create a more compassionate and connected world. Huh, huh, huh. Ultimately, inclusion and understanding are not just moral imperatives, they are practical ones. They lead to better outcomes for individuals, families, communities, and society as a whole. When we embrace diversity and ensure that everyone has the chance to contribute, we create an environment where everyone can succeed. This is the future we should strive for, a world where differences are celebrated, where understanding is prioritized, and where inclusion is the standard. By creating such a world, we can unlock the full potential of every individual, regardless of their abilities, and build a society that is stronger, more compassionate, and more innovative than ever before.